What's up, YouTube fans? Yeah, I know I look like shit. I don't give a fuck. I just decided to start making these videos. And I'm like, you just gotta jump in the deep end, man. So, this is gonna be my second video, technically. I made one yesterday talking about my hair, but ideally, I want to start making some longer videos, some like podcast type videos where they're like an hour long. Because I just got a lot of shit on my mind, and I got some things that I want to do that I just want to get off my chest. And I think making these videos will be therapeutic, and hopefully I can get like a fan base, make a little bit of money on the side. But yeah, that's why I'm doing this. So here it is, fucking first podcast. Let's see how it goes. See if I can make it an hour. But might as well give you a little background about myself, right? You probably want to know a little bit about me, because, fuck, I'm new to you. This face? You've never seen this guy before. That's because I'm a fucking loner. I ain't got friends. I got YouTube. I got Netflix. I got shit like that. I got a dog. But, yeah, so I grew up in Phoenix. My dad died when I was in middle school, so that kind of fucked me up. That kind of pushed me away from friends and stuff. Like, I became isolated, and I just started to, draw away from school or whatever, like, not really try, not give a fuck, and just started acting out, started being a bad kid, not going to school. And eventually I got kicked out, so then I got transferred to another school, charter school, a little tiny fucking school. I still didn't give a fuck. Got kicked out of there, and then my freshman year, I basically finished up with like 2 credits, and I went back my sophomore year and basically got my shit together. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get this shit done. So my sophomore year and my junior year, I was just grinding. I did 18 credit hours in those 2 years and graduated as a junior at the age of 17. And then also at the age of 17, I fucking dipped out, joined the army. That's fucking crazy. I had to get my mom to sign, and luckily she did, because I don't know. I'm kind of torn. It was a good decision, but I have a lot of shit that I gotta live with because of it. And well, here it is. Alright, so I joined the army, 17. My mom signed for me. I fucking dipped out in June 2005. All my other friends, they're in high school. They're in their senior year of high school. So, it was kind of weird. And then after I finished up basic training, I proposed to my high school girlfriend at the time. And so we got engaged. And then we ended up getting married. I was still 17, so fucking living that wild, crazy, fast life. And then I got stationed in Kansas, lived out there for a while until I went to Iraq. And that's pretty much where everything fucking changed, I went to Iraq, and then I came back on leave. I did some stupid shit, man. I bought a motorcycle, and I was riding with my brother-in-law. It was like day 2. I was going down a residential street, probably a little quicker than I should. It's like 25 miles an hour. I was probably doing like 40 or something. But I was behind my brother-in-law, and he's more experienced than me. So like he came up to this churned, and I kind of freaked out. So I think what happened is I just slammed on the brakes, and my back brake locked up. And so I got that like wobbly type shit, and I got thrown from my bike. And that shit wasn't cool, because I got thrown, boom, roll around the ground or whatever. And when I get up, like people on the corner house, they came running out like, oh my God, I heard that shit. Like, you okay? I think she was like a nurse or EMT or some shit. So she knew what was up. And she's like, no, you can't take off. Like, you got to stay here. Like, you're in shock. Like, just wait for the paramedics. And I'm like, nah, don't call the cops. Don't call the paramedics. Like, I don't need that shit. But then you look at my wrist, and like, I literally had like a fucking golf ball right here. Like, it looked like there was a golf ball under my skin just fucking sticking out. I'm like, nah, man, I'm good. Like, fuck it, right? So I sat there about 5-10 minutes until they were comfortable with me leaving. And I'm like, all right, I'm out. So I start fucking riding, And this is my wrist to work the gas, right? Look, let's see if I can. Where's the camera at? Can you see that scar? I don't know. There's a big ass scar right here, right? Like, anyway, I start riding, and that's my riding wrist. So I try to fucking get on the gas, and that shit hurts. And I had to ride the bike to my grandma's house, which is probably like 10 miles or something. So I'm riding, and then eventually, like, it hurts so bad, so I'm like putting this hand over here, and I'm going like this, trying to make it there. Oh, it was fucking awful. Not a good time. Anyway, cut to the part where I get to my grandma's house. Just leave the bike there, and then so the crazy shit too is like, so my brother-in-law's in front of me, but my sister and my wife are in a truck behind me, so they saw that shit go down. My wife's freaking out, my sister, but it is what it is. So I get to my grandma's, drop the bike off, and I'm like, hey, take me to hospital, like some shit's wrong, right? And I get to the hospital. I went to, I think it was like John C. Lincoln, Deer Valley, or whatever, and not fucking cool, man. They do an x-ray, and they're like, oh yeah, that shit's broken. Like, no fucking shit, man. Like, you look at my wrist, size of a golf ball, like, yeah, obviously something's wrong. I don't need a fucking x-ray to tell me that shit, right? Anyway, they give me like one Vicodin, or Percocet. I think it was Percocet. They give me Percocet, pop that shit, and I'm like, dude, this shit still hurts. They're like, well, there's not much we can do for you. Like, we can give you another Percocet to take home. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So I call my brother-in-law, he's 21. I'm like, dude, this shit's not working. I need you to get some alcohol. So that night, I had like 2 Percocets in me, about fucking, I don't know, fit the handle. I don't know, we drank a lot, and I just went crazy that night. And the next morning, I'm all fucked up, having to deal with this shit. And then I get LASIK eye surgery like the next day or 2 days later, I forget. But man, I just got so much shit, because then when I went back to Iraq, they're like, oh, you got LASIK eye surgery, and then you couldn't see, and then you crashed your motorcycle, and all this shit, right? People hate on you, like, guys, that's just what you do. So I get it, I understand, like I'm fine with it, but they just took that shit too far. There was like one guy that he was pushing to have me pay for the bill. He's like, man, you didn't have a motorcycle endorsement, but I had my permit, right? So I could be riding with my brother-in-law because he had a license. But they were still giving me shit, like, oh, we're gonna make you pay for this. It's like over $100,000 for the surgery and all this crazy shit. But luckily, I was in Intel, so like I was in the S2 shop. Like, I don't know, a lot of you guys probably don't know what that means, but basically, you got like the infantrymen that are out there fucking doing all the hard work. They're grinding, right? They're carrying the backpacks, the fucking heavy ass shit. They got their guns, like, they're walking a lot in their boots and stuff. And I'm just sitting in an air conditioned office on a computer, looking at like Intel, trying to tell them who to go after, where to go, and whatnot. So, I mean, I didn't have it too crazy, but we did have indirect fire. Like mortars and rockets, they'd be launching that shit, and it'd land on the base, like, boom, boom, like, so we had some stuff to deal with, but I give my hats off to them. Like, those infantrymen, they're fucking crazy. Might as well be Marines in the Army, like, fuck. Anyway, so my point is, I'm over there, they're fucking hating on me and shit, and then, also when I was on leave, I was trying to buy a house with my wife. And when I get back to Iraq, they're like, dude, that was a dumb idea. You need to get out of that, and just all this shit, right? So basically I talked to I guess like a lawyer or whatever, one of the Army people. He's trying to get me out of the contract to buy my house. And then at the same time, I was thinking about like when I went back on leave, what it was like, and like I didn't have a lot of good feelings. I was like, like, I wasn't sure about my wife and stuff. I was like, well, fuck, then let me just get a divorce. Let me just start fresh. Like, I don't fucking know, right? So I was talking to him about that too. I'm telling my wife, like, well, fuck, like, I don't know. Maybe, like, this isn't working, like, I wasn't feeling anything. Like, they're telling me, like, I should get rid of the house. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's like a sign, right? Like, shouldn't be doing this, And she's telling me, like, no, this is just PTSD. Like, it's not you, right? It's not you. And I get it, whatever. Fucking, I come back, right? It's like months later. So, months later, like, this is like for months, we're not really, like, we're married, but we're not really having a good conversation, not really talking to each other and stuff. But she's telling me, like, hey, when we get back, we go to counseling and stuff. But that shit didn't happen. So I come back, and I fly in, like, it's a crazy-ass flight, right? You fly to Germany, you fly to Maine, whatever, you fly to Texas, then you fly to Kansas or some shit. Right, so I finally get to Kansas, and then I gotta take a bus to the base. And the bus ride is, like, at least an hour, probably, like, 2 to 3 hours. And I get a call from my sister. She's like, yo, I don't remember exactly how the conversation went, but it was something like this. Like, hey, I don't know if I should tell you this. I don't know if you want to hear this, but Julie went to another guy's hotel room, and she fucked him, came back, took a shower, and now she wants to go meet you. And I'm like, no, that's not a good idea. So this is what my sister tells me, right? And I'm like, nah, fuck that. Don't bring her. Like, if she just went and fucked this dude in a hotel room, and now she's trying to get all fucking freshened up for me and come see me, nah, fuck you, hoe. Fuck you, slut. I ain't fucking with your dumbass. Nah, fuck you, bitch. But I can't do shit, right? I'm on the bus. So, I come out, I'm in formation, we're doing the ceremony or whatever. Afterwards, I get done, I see my sister, and I think she's got her son with her or whatever. There's my fucking wife, looking like a little whore. Like, fuck you, little bitch. Like, I'm not trying to fuck with you. I don't want to see you right now. So, basically that's what happened. Like, I get back, and that's my welcoming, my fucking sister and my cheating ass ex-wife. My cheating ass wife. Like, fuck, dude. So that's what I had to deal with, right? And then after that, I don't really remember much. Like, my sister, she came up, she brought me my truck and my motorcycle. That's all I wanted. And then we went through the divorce, and my wife was giving me shit, so I just gave her the truck, which was paid off. I had a fucking F-150 paid off because I went to Iraq. I earned that shit. I just gave it to her. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to deal with this bullshit, this drama. I got the bike, so whatever, I'm fine with it. And then I also had to deal with some more shit too, because so after I got back and did the whole welcoming ceremony and stuff, then they give you some leave. So I took like a month off, and I came home, and obviously I'm not fucking with my wife, right? So I'm just trying to hang out with whoever I can hang out with. And everyone's in school at the time. Like, I don't know, I probably saw like 1 or 2 friends, but eventually I started talking to this girl online, met up with her, and then shit got serious. Like, I don't know, it was fucking just a rebound, some stupid shit on my part, but man, this shit's getting heavy. This shit's fucking getting heavy, man. I don't know. Man. So I come back on leave, I meet this girl. I go back to Kansas, and like technically I'm still married, so I can't live in the dorms. But at the same time, I had to give my wife money, and so I think they were giving me like $850 a month for rent or something like that, and I had to give her like $600, so I was left with like $250 or something like that. I don't know, it wasn't much, right? Like, I couldn't live on that. So I found this place, this old lady. She had a house that I don't know how she had it divided, but basically, like, I lived up in the attic, and I paid like $300 or $400 a month. It was pretty shitty, but whatever. It is what it is, right? So I'm up in the attic, and then she's renting out like the downstairs, and I think she was renting out the basement, or she was renting out the downstairs to 2 people, something like that. But she's making her money, so that's cool. But anyway, that's where I'm staying, and so I'm like, well, fuck, you come over here with me. So she comes through with me, but the crazy thing is, like, she's got kids, and I'm young. I don't give a fuck. It's a rebound, But that just caused more problems, because technically I'm getting divorced, but I'm still married, and I'm like, so we're separated, so I'm going to start doing my own thing. And my chain of command, like my NCO, my my lieutenants, my captain, shit like that. Like, they found out. My wife's calling, like, oh, he's got this girlfriend and stuff. So they start trying to get at me, trying to, oh, we're going to lock you up, Fort Leavenworth, put you away, adultery, all types of crazy shit. And I'm like, nah, fuck you. Like, she cheated on me. We're separated. Like, nah, that shit ain't going to work. But basically, ever since that point on, they just came at me, man. They were, like, coming at me. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm not trying to deal with this shit, right? So there was, like, one point where, man, that shit's going to get so real. I don't even know. Like, man, I'm going to put this out there. I'm like, God damn, dude. So there's one point, right? I was at the doctor and I got diagnosed. Like, this is exactly what she said. She said, you got anxiety and PTSD. Oh man, I should fucking, I'm jumping ahead, man. I'm jumping ahead, dude. I went through so much shit in this 6 months, man. Fuck it, man. I went through more shit when I got back from Iraq than when I was in Iraq. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, what the fuck, man? You serious? That's some fucked up shit. Cause I get back and I was on leave, right? And I come back, I'm living in the attic and shit. But then I started having, oh no, so then I got a new place. And now I'm living in a normal house, but I'm not divorced yet. And so this is around like, I want to say it's around like July, August. July, man, I don't know. It might have been around the time I got divorced. Because I got divorced August 21st. So somewhere around that time. But then I started getting sick. And so I got taken into the hospital. And my side hurt. They thought it was appendicitis. But then they sent me home, right? And then I'd taken medicine, Tylenol or some shit. And while I was sleeping, I started getting a fever. I was sweating. I was like, I don't know what was going on, right? My girl wakes me up, like, oh shit, like, there's something wrong. Like, you're sweating, like, shit's not good, right? But when I got woken up, then I got fucking nauseous. I was like, oh fuck, I don't feel good. So I either went to the toilet, had a buck, I don't remember, right? Puked, right? She's like, I gotta take you back in. And she was a phlebotomist. Like, she worked at a hospital for a long time, so she knew what's up. She kind of knew some things. She caught on over the years. So she's like, yeah, something's wrong. I gotta take you in. So I'm in the back seat with my bucket, just like, fuck this, right? And then I get to the hospital, and that's where I went through some traumatic shit too, because, man, I don't want to tell you this, but fucking stuck a hose up my ass. That's what it felt like. Because basically they were like, well, if you can't drink this and you're throwing up, we got to go up the other way. So I'm getting an MRI done, and they're fucking putting some fluid on my ass or some shit. Not feeling good. And then they fucking admit me to the hospital. I'm there for like 3 days. And this is the crazy part. After I get admitted, the whole like next 24 hours, I'm pissing in this urine, like a little can, right? And it's like a collection container. So I'm just collecting all my urine for 24 hours, and that shit looks like root beer, man. It's like brown. Like, dude, it's like, I don't know, blood. Like, it's brown. It's not looking good. And so I have these people like in my unit. They come through, and my sergeant says I'm faking this shit. He's like, yo, you're just making this shit up to get out of work. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Yeah, I'm fucking hanging out in the hospital for fun because I'm trying to avoid your dumb ass. Like, get the fuck out of here, you stupid cunt. After that, man, I basically said, fuck it, man. Fuck these guys. I ain't trying to deal with you, So I get out the hospital, and, man, this shit's not focusing or something. Maybe the light changed. I don't know. Anyway, I get out of the fucking hospital, and I remember when I went to another doctor, like primary care or something, she ended up diagnosing me, and she said, you got anxiety and PTSD, or you got anxiety and depression linked to PTSD. That's like the exact phrasing she said. And so when I went back, I told my commanding officer, he's the captain in charge of the unit. So he's fucking in charge of everybody. So I'm like, fuck, let me just go to him, tell him what's up. And I said the same exact shit. I said, hey, fuck, what's his name? Fuck, Captain Dickhead, right? I don't fucking know his name. Hey, Captain Dickhead, my doctor just diagnosed me with anxiety and depression linked to PTSD. And I don't remember exactly what was said, but I know I said that. And then I remember he said this. He said, somebody watch O'Hara before I fucking kill him and show him what PTSD is really like. Word for word. Someone watch O'Hara before I fucking kill him and show him what PTSD is really like. Like, goddamn, dude, that's my fucking officer saying that shit to me because I told him I got diagnosed with PTSD. Goddamn, dude, that's what I had to deal with. So when he said that shit to me, ain't nobody watching me. Somebody is supposed to be watching me, but I said, fuck you, bitch, I'm out. So I just dipped, hopped in my truck, and left. Next 3 weeks, I'm AWOL. They fucking calling me on the phone, like, oh, where you at? Like, bitch, you didn't even come to my house. I live 10 minutes off base, and you ain't even coming to look for me. You're like, oh, he's probably in Arizona. Like, you don't give a fuck. That's my point. You don't give a fuck. You could have came to my house and been like, oh, is he here? But nah, you didn't care. Finally, about 3 weeks go by, right? And I'm on the phone, like, Lieutenant, I think. He's like, man, just come back. You know, we'll out-process you. We'll just, you know, you just get out, right? I'm like, all right, fine. I'm cool with that. So I come back. They fucking out-process me. I gotta deal with that shit, right? Someone's following me around. And, like, I'm fucking sleeping in the barracks now, like, on suicide watch. Someone's got to watch me 24 hours. And, like, man, it was ridiculous, man. Like, oh, man, after that point, I was just fed up, right? So I'll process. I'm done, man. And basically, I got a general discharge under honorable conditions. And I'm like, cool, whatever. I don't care. I left, right? Then I come back to Arizona eventually. I'm thinking things are cool. But then I find out I lost the GI Bill because of the general discharge. You have to have an honorable, even though it's general under honorable, I still lost my GI Bill. So I'm like, fuck, man, like, that sucks. And I think I lost something else, like maybe I can't be buried at like a certain cemetery or something. I don't know. But like the GI Bill is what fucked me, right? So I'm like, god damn, dude. So I gotta deal with this. So I get out the army, move back home with my mom. I'm just trying to survive, right? And the shitty thing is, like, they didn't know what was going on with my kidneys. They didn't know what was going on with that. And after I got out, months later, I finally get a fucking, what's that shit called? A biopsy. They fucking, like, they stuck me in the left side of my back 3 times and took a little piece of my kidney to analyze it. And then they found out I had IgA nephropathy. I looked into it, you know, it has something to do with like the filtration of your kidneys, like the filtration system. You got like billions of nephrons, and they just start to die off. And I don't know whole details, but I wasn't faking it, right? You know, I wasn't making that shit up. So now I get out, I find that shit out. Oh man, that shit feel good. I don't know if you heard that, but that's another thing I want to talk about, but I'll talk about that shit later. So I get that biopsy. I'm like, see, I wasn't faking this shit. Like, fuck you guys, right? But I lost my GI Bill, so I'm like trying to figure out what's up. And I get out like November 21st, 2008. It's fucking crazy. It's been a decade. But November 21st, I get out. I moved back to Arizona probably like December, something like that. And I remember like January, February, like, you know, it's 2009. I'm not doing shit. I'm just going to doctor's appointments, just, you know, whatever. And I lost the GI Bill. So finally I said, fuck it, I got to do something with my life. And I registered for school. And I went to community college. So I'm like, I'm going to go to Glendale Community College because since I wasn't working at the time, I could get the Pell Grant. And the Pell Grant gives you up to like $5,550 a year, $5,550, something like that. So like that $5,500, like, so that $5,000 divided by 2 semesters is $2,500 a semester. But when you're going to community college, it only costs like $1,200 or something like that. So I'm like, cool, you know, like, I'm gonna go to community college and I'm not gonna pay for shit, and the army ain't gonna pay for shit. So that was a blessing for me, right? Because I didn't have money, I didn't have shit going for me in my life. I was like, man, I just got to do something, man. I got to start making some steps, start making some changes, start improving. And so January, that's when I enrolled, and I started going to college. You know, I had a little bit of cash on the side because, you know, you pay for the school, you pay for the books. That's like $1,500, maybe $2,000. So you're left with like $500-700 for the semester. So I basically just did that, right? Like my first semester, I'm like, all right, I see what's up. I got like all A's, just fucking killing it, just doing work, right? Then, let's see, so then summer school, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna take summer school. At the same time, I also got a job at the college doing security. So I'm fucking walking around as a security guard, checking doors and shit. I mean, it's whatever, it is what it is. You know, I was getting paid like $8 an hour, so it was really shitty, but I had some extra money. And then, you know, you're that guy, so you're going around fucking putting tickets on people's cars because you're like, hey, you're not supposed to be parked here. And they're like, fuck you, man, you security asshole. So yeah, you know, you're not gonna have an easy time making friends when you're, you know, a cop basically at college, man. Ain't nobody trusting you. But I was a square, man. Like, I didn't give a fuck, you know. I was just doing my thing. So I did that for about a year, and next summer, I don't know if I should get into it. Basically, next summer, I was done. I was going to ASU, so I was like, fuck it, I don't care about this job anymore. So I was done with that job, transferred to ASU and shit. And that's when things also started looking up too, because then I started going to Voc Rehab. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's vocational rehabilitation. And it's basically this thing that they offer to disabled vets. And since I had like the PTSD, the kidney issue and stuff like that, I was disabled. And so that was kind of like a loophole, I guess, that I could use. So I lost my GI Bill, but the GI Bill, I lost my 9/11 GI Bill, but I could use like my other GI Bill or some shit. So I lost this GI Bill. And that GI Bill, they give you 3 years. They pay for your school for 3 years, and then they give you an allowance for like housing or whatever. BAH, basic allowance for housing, is what they call it. So, you know, you're going to school for like 3 years, and you're getting like, let's say, $1,200 a month for rent or some shit. So that's cool, right? Well, with me, I couldn't get that anymore. And so since I was disabled, I could go through Voc Rehab, and that's what I did. And I went through Voc Rehab, and I got the GI Bill, but it was a little different. It was supposed to cover you for 4 years, and then you only get like $650 a month or some shit like that, right? So I'm like, fuck it, I don't care. Like, at least they're helping me out. So I'm at ASU. This is before they're helping me out. I transferred to ASU, and I'm still doing my own thing, taking out loans. But that was like the crazy part. Like, when I transferred to ASU, I started partying. I met some friends. I had some friends from back in the day that just came over or whatever. We just all started hanging out. And man, my fucking grades started getting bad. So when I was at GCC, I finished up at GCC with a 4.0. I transferred over to ASU with a 4.0. And then when I get to ASU, my first semester, I'm like, shit, I gotta drop science, man. I can't take this. And so I was enrolled at ASU as a biochem major. I don't know, man. I thought it sounded cool. I was gonna go to medical school, but it was intense, right, man? You gotta fucking study. You basically just gotta live, breathe, eat, sleep, fucking school, man. Work. Like your work is school, man. Like, schoolwork is your work. You know, you finish up school, then you go do more school. Then you go home and you do more school. Oh, then you wake up and you do more school. Like, fuck that shit, right? I wasn't on that level. I was just like, oh, let me do my homework or some shit. Let me show up and take a fucking test that I don't know anything about. So that's basically what I was doing. I was just fucking up, right, with my life. But I was having fun because I was being more social. I was getting out there, having a good time. But I started taking drugs too. Kind of crazy. But so there was this period in my life, right, where I was just partying and I couldn't handle it. So let's see. It was like the beginning of 2010, so all of 2010 I was at GCC, and then like the beginning of 2011 I was at GCC. So the fall of 2011 is when I started going to ASU. That fall semester, that was rough, right? And I think they told me to go talk to a counselor, and the counselor's like, yo, I don't know if you can handle this major, like you're gonna have to switch. So they switched me over to sociology, right? And those classes are easier. So in the spring semester of 2012, oh man, I went through some other shit too during that time. That's another video, but god damn. So spring 2012, I have some easier classes. I'm doing all right, but I don't know. It still wasn't me, right? Like I was doing some other shit. Like I don't know, man. I'm gonna say this shit and someone's gonna see it, and like my family, but whatever. I was allowed to grow weed in Tempe, Arizona. This is the craziest fucking shit. You think about it now, you're like, god damn. But I was attending ASU, living in Tempe in a house, and I was allowed to legally grow marijuana. Like, holy shit, what the fuck? So that's what I'm doing. I just dropped out of school, and that's what I'm doing. And I don't know, I did that for probably close to a year, and then I was just like, fuck this. Like, I gotta do something with my life. And so I ended up moving. We all just like, there was like a bunch of people in that house, right? We just split up. And then I moved with my sister, and we got a place. And so she's going to college, I'm going to college. I get back into college. And this is when I get back into college through voc rehab. So it's cool. You know, I went, I think 2 semesters at ASU where I had to take out loans. And then I just dipped out. And when I came back, I had the voc rehab behind me. And so they're helping me pay for school. And the cool thing is, when I came back in, I was like, I was on my shit, right? It was like basically high school all over again. I'm like, I'm fucking gonna grind. So that's what I did. I came back to school, and I raised my GPA over like the next, I think probably like 2 semesters. I was just taking these sociology classes and some science classes or whatever. So I take these classes, raise my GPA, and the whole point of raising my GPA is because I wanted to get back into the biochemistry program. So I raised my GPA up over a 3.0, got back into the biochemistry program, and then eventually graduated with both the biochemistry degree and the sociology degree. So that was cool. And I graduated with over a 3.0, so that was nice. But my dream of the whole doctor thing, becoming a doctor, was kind of just done, right? So before you finish college, you know, they have, I don't know what it's called. It's like a career fair or something like that, but it's like schools. So like all these different schools come, and it's like a school fair. And you walk around, and there's like, oh, there's this school, this medical school, whatever. And so I'm checking all these schools out. I grabbed a pamphlet for this chiropractor school in California, and they were like the only ones that kind of like, I might have gone there just because they were showing interest. They like hit me up like, hey, you know, you think about coming here? Oh, hey, like here's some more information. Like, hey, if you need any help, reach out. Like, they're the only ones saying that shit, right? So I thought about it, but I never did. I graduated December 2015, and shortly after that, I got a job as a contractor. Just fucking, that was the shitty thing, man. Like, I didn't realize, you know, you get a biochemistry degree, you think like, damn, you're gonna do something. I didn't do shit, man. I got with this company. Basically, they help you find a job, right? They're like an agency to help people find jobs. And everybody that I was working with, they were like chemistry majors, like biology majors. Oh shit, I don't think this is gonna record anymore. Damn, so this shit just stopped recording, and I was hoping to just do, you know, like an hour straight video or something, just upload it, no editing, none of that bullshit. But I ran out of memory on my fucking phone, and so I had to go delete that. Or I didn't delete the video, but I just transferred it to my computer so I can make space on my phone, and now I can keep recording. But it kind of sucks because now I gotta fucking edit the video, you know? It's just not. Put something over that window. Anyway, so I went back. I was checking out what I was talking about, and I was just talking about life after college, right? So after I graduated in 2015, I'm thinking like, oh, I might have a decent job and all I got was a contract job, fucking $15 an hour. Like, yeah, I guess that's cool. You know, it's a lot better than the $8 an hour that I was getting years ago. But it's still nothing, you know, right? So I'm doing this contract, and I don't know, I was there for like a couple months, and then they just got rid of the program. So everybody, I was doing quality assurance. It's like, dude, that has nothing to do with what I went to school for, but I just had to make some money, right? And then they just let us all go, and we had to find something else. And so this company finds us another contract, and the other contract's just like super fucking short, temporary. It's like a 2 to 4 week contract, and I did that. And then during that time, I'm also looking for a job myself, posting my resume online, like trying to get things, right? So I'm just applying to a bunch of shit, and I got a call, and this was a sales job. I didn't really understand at the time, but basically I go in, I talk to him, and I go with this job, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try this out. And I didn't realize until after I started doing it, but it's a business to business. So, and it's like the stupidest shit too, because you're selling office supplies. Basically, you're selling like whatever Office Max has, right? You're like, oh, you need some ink cartridges, or you need some paper or whatever. Like, you're selling all that crap. And so I'm like, fuck, you know, like I'm selling this shit. You had me walking around in a goddamn suit. Like, no joke, fucking pants, like the shirt and the jacket and a fucking tie. All this bullshit, right? What the fuck, man? I'm walking around Phoenix in May, June. It's like hot as shit. And you got me. It was just horrible, right? So, like, I did training for about a week. And they're like, all right, go do your thing. So I did my thing. I sold, like, a little bit of shit, right? But I'm walking around outside. Then I, like, get in my truck and I drive to the next place. And I walk to all those places. And then it just sucked. I'm not a fucking salesman. I'm only a salesman if it's like some shit that I can get behind. You know, I'm not gonna fucking sell you some shit that I don't give a shit about. Like, office supplies, okay, I understand. Like, you know, you need that, but it's not an easy sell, right? So I quit that job and then went into a depression and stuff, and didn't do shit for months. And let's see, this is like 2016, and then the end of 2016, I get involved with this program to get a service dog. And so that's cool, you know. I got my service dog, and I spent months training her, probably almost a year. Went through doing all this. I grew up with dogs. Like, I knew dogs. They were in my life, but I didn't really understand them. Like, when they train you for this program, you really understand, you know. It's like you're almost a dog, man. Like, you can see what they're thinking. It's cool. So I got this dog. Like, she's just amazing. And that's basically what I was doing with my life during, like, the end of, like, December 2016, like, 2017 and shit. And I don't know, like, let's see. Then I got another job, like, October 2017. That's when I got hired. And it was another contract job, another fucking QA position. And so I did that for a few months, saved up some money, and then March this year, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna take the MCAT, which is the medical college acceptance test. You gotta take this exam if you wanna go to medical school, or even just apply, right? So I'm like, fuck it, I got some money, I'm gonna take this test. It's like $300 to take this test. And so I took the test. I didn't score that well, but I got a 493. And ideally, you'd want to get like a 508. And so I'm not too far off from it. And then there's this program. So there's 3 medical schools in Arizona. You got University of Arizona down in Tucson, but they also have like a University of Arizona Phoenix campus. So they got 2 locations for University of Arizona. And then you've got maybe there's only 2, but then there's this other school. I forget the name of it, right? But there's a couple. And so I was looking into it, but they're pretty competitive, like, compared to my scores. Like, I'm not going to get in. And the University of Arizona Tucson campus has a program that it's like a master's degree where you do it for a year, and it's basically for people that have a hard time getting into medical school. They take this program, and if you get accepted in this program, you go there for a year, and then you go to medical school for 4 years. And I'm like, that sounds cool, but you got to get a 498, and I'm at a 493. So I'm like, man, I could bump it up, but I'm not even sure if that's what I want to do anymore, because, you know, just life's changing. Just, I don't even know if I could make it through. So right now I'm not really doing shit. Figure I might as well start making some YouTube videos and I don't know, just see what I can get done, right? And let's see how this video goes, because this is gonna be like my intro video, so you guys get a little background on me. And I know there's like a lot of shit that I said in this video that I want to elaborate on, but this is just like a real quick introduction. Not even quick, man, because it's gonna be like an hour long. I'm already at like 45 minutes, and I gotta edit this shit together and stuff. But yeah, I guess that's it. I'll see if I'll come up with something else later.